Hi there, my name's Kathleen Day-Jones. I'm your careers advisor for today. I'm just going to switch on my webcam so you can see I'm an actual human being. Hello. So this is about things to do when you feel demotivated. Okay, it should only take about 15 minutes and I really appreciate your time that you've come along to this session. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please just type in the chat box any queries and I'll try and answer them as I go along, or alternatively towards the end. Okay, so here we go. So just to address the elephant in the room, the pandemic is still having an impact on all of our lives, how we operate in the world, and how we perceive the world has changed massively. And when it comes to doing daily activities, working, studying, job hunting and interviews, it has changed. So the aims of this session today is to really understand changes aren't forever, to identify when we're not coping as well as what we would do normally, to find those coping strategies and looking at examples of activities that might help, and who you can get support from, and looking at the benefits as well. Okay. So your first thoughts. So have a think. I'm not asking you to share anything right now, but if you can think about what are your hopes for this next month to this next year, and what are your fears. So it's good to start thinking about what are you looking forward to, what are you frightened of maybe, or apprehensive of, so that you know and you can identify what those obstacles might be that you could overcome, but also you've got a goal ahead of you as well, and it's really good to identify both of them, and I'll explain a bit more in a bit. So some of these things might be to make friends or maintain your friends. It could be to just have fun, it could be to study hard and get those great grades, to get a great job, the career that you want, survive COVID, might be better pay, more opportunities, promotion. You want to make sure that all of the time, money and effort that you're putting in to being at university and studying hard is for something that you want to make sure that it's all worth the effort and the time and the money that you're putting in. Okay. So what does demotivation look like to you? So I would like, if you can, put in the chat box, what is demotivation for you? If you could actually type into the chat box any examples of what demotivation is. Procrastination, absolutely, yeah. Any others? There's quite a range of what people perceive as demotivation. If you'd like to add any more, but Abby is quite right, procrastination is a big one, especially for students who have got forthcoming assignments and feel a little bit bogged down by everything. Negativity, absolutely, Mohammed. Negativity, procrastination, things that kind of turn your world into a more negative experience. So sometimes we look at the swan looks really elegant and graceful on the water, but actually what you're not seeing is underneath, their legs are paddling like crazy underneath, and that's often how we as humans act. We may pretend, and we are very good at disguising sometimes how we really feel and how we're really anxious or not coping as well with a situation. And so to other people, they might not really see what's going on, but sometimes beneath the surface, actually, we're panicking, we're feeling negative. And so sometimes we are very much like the swan. And if you think about in a chemical way, and I'm sure that some of you might be scientists, so you can probably correct me here, but serotonin being a neurotransmitter sends messages all around your body, so that can regulate your mood, your appetite, your sleep, how you learn, your memory, all of those positive feelings and how you socially interact with other people. When that is affected, say if you aren't sleeping as well, your learning and your memory will be affected, how your positivity, your appetite and behaviour, any of them are knocked out of kilter, it can have an effect. So often, demotivation can sometimes be that you're depriving yourself of those basic needs. And actually it's a case of increasing those levels, those chemical levels. So it might be that you're feeling anxious, that you're irritable and feeling aggressive, or you're really tired and exhausted, you've got no energy, you've got fatigue, or you might even be impulsive and do things rashly that you wouldn't do normally. It might be that you've got no appetite and you feel a little bit hopeless. And that is perfectly normal. Lots of people go through that, but sometimes it's not spoken as much as what it should be. So, as you mentioned already, being tired, fatigue, having little to no energy, procrastination, feeling negative, no interest in the world, feeling out of routine, your attendance might be not very good, you might not actually look after yourself as well as what you should do, so washing, dressing, taking care of yourself. As you said, feeling negative, your environment might have relationship issues and connect with people not as well as what you would do normally, because all of those feelings are very overwhelming and have an impact on not just studies but also your personal life as well, and it can sometimes spiral. So it's good to identify when you're feeling a number of those issues and then go, well, there's something not quite right, let's try and attend to it. And we can only do that if we identify what those issues are and then rationalising, well, where's that coming from? Because you can sometimes get stuck in that cycle, and ideally that's not a good cycle to be in because it doesn't go in the direction that you want. Okay, so recognise, identify and connect, and find those solutions through engaging with other people and exploring what your choices are of support and future actions to make sure you get to where you want to be. And it's about you choosing, you're in control. So I've got a picture here of someone with loads of seagulls, and if my son was here he'd be frightened, he's scared of birds. However, what I'm doing here is I'd like you to, whilst you're looking at the picture of the person and all these seagulls, think about where you feel you are now represented by one of those birds, whether it's a seagull or a swan or a pigeon. Is it on land, is it on air, or is it on the sea? You don't have to tell me why, and pick maybe one bird where that best represents where you are now, and think about where you'd like to be in, say, 6 months to a year's time. And whilst you're thinking about that, think about why you've chosen that particular bird on the scale of that picture. So, for example, I might choose maybe the pigeon just sitting in the centre of the picture that's closest to us. I'm thinking, I don't feel that graceful as the swan near me. However, I feel quite steady on my feet at the moment, and I feel quite content. So I feel okay, I'm on land. However, where I would like to be is one of those, again, just off centre, at the top of the picture in the air is the bird with flying wings. I want to be more adventurous. I want to feel a little bit more carefree. Okay? So the reason why I've asked you to do that is sometimes it can help you in terms of goal setting, and goal setting will help you sometimes get out of that spiral of feeling demotivated. If you have a goal, then you can work towards it. Okay, and sometimes having an image will help that to come along a little bit more easily for some people. It doesn't work for everyone though. So things that you can do. So preparation is absolute key. So identifying any issues and any things that you're dealing with, obstacles such as negativity. It could be that you are having lack of sleep and things like that. So how can you address it? So one of the things you can do is recognize it, try and stick to a routine, getting up early in the morning rather than sleeping in, not getting changed until say 1 o'clock, and not maybe going out for a walk or going to a lesson. It's really important that you try and stick to a good routine, because that can make you feel more positive about yourself, get you in a routine where you feel like you're accomplishing something in your day, and that is your own reward, okay, and makes you to feel positive about yourself. And it's the perception of how you feel that others are judging you as well, even though it shouldn't really matter, but we're humans and often it can matter. Look after yourself, so make sure that you are staying in that routine, getting washed and dressed, go out, have exercise, talk to friends, talk to people that care about you, and vice versa. Okay, so keep in contact with friends and family. Be honest to trusted friends, and if you are feeling down, find that person who you can be vulnerable with and talk to them and find solutions that help you. Plan activities in your day. So again, that goes with the routine, not just if it's studies or if it's work or family commitments, but it's also maybe factoring in some time where you have fun. So if you're used to planning, having a timetable, if you use your mobile phone and your Outlook calendar, whatever works for you, schedule time for fun. Do something that makes you happy in a day, whether it's to just sit down, have a cup of tea or a soft drink with a book, or watch a film, go and meet some friends or watch a movie. Make sure you're having a bit of an injection of fun each day, because that is just as important as doing the studies. If you can't humanly possibly study everything in one day. I remember speaking to a student who I work with in a different university, and that's what she was trying to do for pretty much all the waking hours. She wasn't sleeping, she wasn't eating. We devised a time chart where they factored in study time, time to eat, time to meet family, do commitments, do cleaning, but also have some fun and relaxation time. That ended up helping her to get into a routine, and then instead of quitting university in year 3, she continued and she got a first, and she then got a job and is doing incredibly well. So sometimes having that routine really does help. You can use this time as well to research your aspirations. What is it that you want to do? So it's thinking about what your hopes and your fears are. What is it you ultimately want to achieve at the end of university? Do that planning, whatever stage you're in now, whether you're in first, second, third year, or you've graduated. It's important to try and look at what your future goal is and work towards achieving that goal. And you can only work towards it if you know what you need to do, what are the steps that you need to take, what qualifications, what kind of experience, what skills that you need to improve, or the gaps, so that you can fill those gaps and be the best candidate you can possibly be. So often you can search for experiences. What kind of experiences will help you to achieve that career? And also networking. You can make a careers appointment. We're doing them remotely at the moment, but you can hopefully in the not so distant future see us one-to-one. We have email access, so you can make an appointment and we can help you to do those goal setting activities and action planning. You can speak to your academic advisors. You can speak to any speakers that come in, any talks that are being arranged by the university, or any conferences that you attend, and perhaps add them to your LinkedIn profile. Connect with people through social media and organisations, and get involved in university roles such as volunteering, being a student rep. Anything that you do in addition to your studies will ultimately help showcase your fantastic ability to be resilient, to be able to multitask, to communicate with others, work well under pressure. All of those different skills and activities will help you. So I'll just make sure I've gone through them. Yep. And then, so research the industry that you want to go in, find out about the roles. Are they of interest to you? If you can get experience, great. I know it's difficult at the moment, but maybe look at planning some time to get experience if you don't already have it in the industry you want. Use your time to look at social media to find opportunities and update your professional profile if you've not done so already. LinkedIn is especially good at putting your CV online, so make sure that's up to date and it's professional. If you are from a creative background or have coordinated activities, you've got any kind of scientific experiments, you might want to put anything where you haven't got an NDA on it and upload it onto the image profiles part of LinkedIn. You can follow people using Twitter for jobs and internship opportunities. And also LinkedIn is great for internships and job opportunities as well. It's a sometimes forgotten tool. Update your practical CV. It's a nice and easy one. And again, you can use CV 360 on Career Edge, or you can email us your CV to give you feedback on, or book an appointment. We can go through it and make sure that it is suitable for your industry area and you're maximising your skills and experience in the most meaningful way to the employer that you're targeting. Other ones is assess your long-term goals, your strategies, and that's really important. And make sure that you've got the right equipment and environment for any online interviews for opportunities. So when I'm saying that, make sure that within the current climate, it's often video interviews or live interviews via Teams or Google Hangouts, Zoom, those kind of things. So make sure that if you have an interview, that you have a comfortable environment, a good internet connection, you've got a nice drink beside you, nobody's going to walk in on you, make a noise and embarrass you. Make sure that it's as comfortable as possible, right down to the temperature. But again, if you want any practice with mock interviews, you can come to Careers, make an appointment with us online, and we can help you with that and help you with your preparation. So what I found is when I've uploaded to Adobe this platform, it takes away some of the website details that I've put on some of these slides for some unknown reason. So some companies are still recruiting and are using methods such as, and what it's missing in the blanks is Zoom and Google Hangouts and things like that. So that's all that's missing there. If you want to have a copy of this presentation, you're very welcome to request an online copy through Career Edge as well. So you might be interested in this current climate to look at online learning, just to make use of the time available. So you might want to take a short course. So that might be, if you're still a student at university at UCLan, you can go through LinkedIn portal through LIS, and from there you can log into LinkedIn Learning and you can undertake a course and learn a new skill, whether that's could be from anything from coding to animation. Tends to be a little bit more on the creative side of things, the more technical side of things. But if you want to upskill yourself, again, it shows that, again, that you are able to multitask, use your initiative and learn something new to offer future employers. If you do it through LinkedIn Learning, it's paid for via our university membership with LinkedIn Learning. And if you have a LinkedIn account, it will update your current courses as well. Otherwise, you'll have to update it on your hard copy CV. There's also the Skills Network. It's a platform which allows you to undertake certified, qualified, long-distance learning online courses. So the level 2 equivalent, as long as you're a UK national or you have been a resident of the UK for 3 years or more and are over 19, they're free, well, they're funded as long as you complete the course. And there's a number of level 2 courses in counselling skills, which would normally be about around £1,000 if you did it at college, but they would do it funded, and you can do it all online. So counselling, it could be understanding autism to understanding challenging behaviours. So anyone who's interested in social work sector, in health, there's a number of courses. End of life care is another one. But there's also things like spectator, cleaning and things like that, and teaching assistant courses, and a few other interesting ones that might be of interest. Then there's Open Learn and OU, which is the Open University, Future Learn and Coursera, and they are all courses online that you can do, which are short courses, but they don't really have a certification, but they can upskill yourself. And then there's also YouTube, and YouTube has a number of different courses that you can do for fun and learning. And also Duolingo is a good one for languages at the moment. So just to read out a couple here, there's Learn a Language, Duolingo, YouTube, the Worldwide Centre as well. If you go online, our own Worldwide Centre has a number of courses that you can do. I think one is Rosetta Stone. So there might be some opportunities there if you're interested in learning a language. And again, that will look good on your CV. There's looking at coding languages, programming, networking as well. So LinkedIn Learning will be a good one for that one. If you're interested in writing, journalism, to writing a novel, learning how to cook, learning how to plant and grow things, musical instruments, cycling, book clubs, painting like Bob Ross. You go on YouTube, Man of Art, take up photography, things that you would enjoy, but also would mean that you've got a hobby, something to talk about, and it can sometimes be something interesting. At interview, sometimes you get questions that are a little bit different, and you might get asked a question around, can you tell us one interesting thing about you? And sometimes it could be that, or, can you tell us something that you've achieved or that you're proud of? And it can sometimes come through these activities that we do that are extracurricular. Okay. Social media. So are your social media channels friendly and appropriate? Sometimes we set them up when we're not as mature, and so they might have profile names that are a bit silly and unprofessional, so you might want to clean them up or have new ones to put up. Are all your profiles up to date? Are you using the right job searches and the right job search engines for your industry area? Are you looking in the right places? If not, come and see us at Careers and we'll point you in the right direction. Are you following employers and professional bodies of interest? Are you connecting with the right people? Are you active? Are you actually taking part in social media? Do you actually like, comment and interact with those people? Do you post? Are you putting the relevant hashtags on? Okay. I know not everyone is as savvy on social media, and some might think, well, it's a bit, we don't really use it in my industry area, and that's fine. However, if you think it would be useful, then I would seriously urge you to really think about some of those different pointers there. And if you need any help, again, come to Careers and we can help you. Volunteering is if you haven't had any experience or had any work experience ever, volunteering can help you feel, one, it gets you out, gets you into a routine because someone's relying on you to show up and you're actually helping someone. So whether that's helping in a charity, to do marketing work, to helping in a care home because you want to improve your caring skills, your interest in maybe medicine and healthcare, whether you're in pharmacy or in medical sciences, it's still very useful. So there's a lot of community group projects. We have a community volunteering team here at the university. There's also Do It in the local community. There's charities such as Age UK, Mind, Refuge, Shout, NHS, and there's a whole range. So if you are interested or it would be helpful in your future career path, so if anyone is undertaking, say, a gateway course like biomedical sciences or medical sciences and are actually keen to apply for a to become a doctor in the future, then you will have to undertake some voluntary or some work experience working with people to improve your applications. So something to bear in mind. And in all honesty, if you've not had any work experience throughout university, you need to get some, because it makes you look like you have gone out, use your initiative, you can multitask, you're more resilient, you're able to keep better time management of your work, and maintain lots of areas in your life. These are skills that are transferable into workplaces, and it can set you apart from other students with the same qualification, but you've got more to offer those employers. Okay. And again, that'll be on Career Edge, as well as some of those national charity websites as well. But again, if you're interested in volunteering, get in touch and we'll help. So Career Edge, we've got Graduate Recruitment Bureau, Millground, Save the Student, Grad Jobs, Graduate Land, Target Jobs, Debut Careers, a more general graduate job search and internship websites. But there's also STEM ones as well, social media and offline. Again, the web links, for some reason, not all of them will come on to this platform, but again, I would urge you to come to Careers, make an appointment, and we can look at your industry area based with your current situation, what your aspirations are, and we can make sure that we point you in the right direction of what websites are relevant for your industry area and the job areas that you're interested in looking at, as well as maybe internships if you're still currently in studies. But again, getting opportunities can help you feel more motivated because it feels more meaningful. You're applying a lot of that theory that you're learning in classes into actual practice in real world scenarios, and it's great on your CV, and when at interview you can use those experiences to explain your skill set, and it's just more powerful to the employer. So Career Edge is your friend. That's our platform. It's full of resources. You can use it. We're a lifelong service. It's a service that continues when you graduate as well. So if you change your ideas about careers, we're here to support you, and it's free still. And all of the online materials that we subscribe to are free for you. So think about you can use it for job searching for your CVs. There's online CV templates on there. There's applications. You can book appointments through it. You can send CVs and quick questions and applications on it. You can look at STAR examples. And for any of you that don't know STAR, please book an appointment with us, because that's what you need to make sure you're doing on applications. And if you're not very good at interviews or you don't feel confident, then we can help you with those mock interviews. And again, once you've booked an appointment, most students will start to feel more positive about themselves. It feels like they've got a plan in motion, and that can help motivate you and get you out of those slumps sometimes as well, because you feel like, actually, I'm moving forwards rather than feeling stuck. Okay, so this is how Career Edge looks. I'm sure you've already looked at it already. We've got the website on here, and this is normally the kind of page that you might start off on, and it's quite user-friendly. It may be changing a little bit in the future, but it's still going to be very easy to find information. So you can see there it has interviews on one square box, another one is everything to do with CVs, and applications is in another. And so it'll have a range of different websites to look on for job searching. It'll have videos, it'll have interviews from employers to give you case studies and tips of what is useful for you to know. It has industry reports that are updated live time, and it has presentations on there as well, so it's quite useful. It also has aptitude tests and personality tests, so you can practice on them. So a few last minute things to really think about is thinking about your environment. You need to think about what your self-worth is. You are worth it. You need to make sure you're building your environment full of positive people who are there to support you. And you are in an environment that is conducive for your positive mental health. So have good people around you. Make sure that you're looking after yourself as well, because that will make you feel good. If you feel and you smell good, that you look clean, that goes a long way for feeling positive about you. Having that routine, eating well and exercise promotes you feeling good about yourself. It also allows you to go outside to get that vitamin D, and the studies of sunlight genuinely helping your well-being, your positive mental health. It helps you to make sure that you are eating well, you're thinking well, you're maximizing your learning and your memory skills, and also that allows you to have the energy to meet other people, to attend lessons, to then have that engagement, and then allow you to sleep, because you've actually, you've used your memory like a sponge to learn what you need to apply for jobs, or to meet new people, to attend studies, lectures, and engage with the outside world, and allows you to sleep. And that will then have a positive cycle for you, where you're getting up in that routine, feeling positive about yourself, and hopefully won't fall into that negative cycle. Okay, and it allows you to then feel valued as well by the world. So make sure, are you thinking about what we said before when we identified what is demotivation? Are you a procrastinator? Are you hard on yourself? Or maybe think less about those kind of, what I'm bad at, or I'm this and I'm that. Start thinking about, well, what am I good at? So if you feel like you're going into that negative cycle, try and turn it on its head and think about, well, what you are good at. Okay, you might have a couple of gaps, or you might do things that, are a bit negative. Well, identify them, knock them on the head. What can I do about it? You've got a couple of tips here, and I'm sure there's lots of stuff that you've done already. And then, well, what can you do about it? And it'll set you back on the track that you should be on and deserve to be on as well. Okay, so engage with others. It's really important not to go it alone and feel alone and isolated. So make sure you're with other people and you seek help when you need it. There's a lot of support at University of Central Lancashire, not just at careers, but also at the wellbeing team, inclusive support, library, academic, tutors. So anyone you feel comfortable with, if you want to divulge things to, it might be a friend, a trusted friend, but it could also be a member of staff, and we would love to be there for you. So there's the counselling wellbeing team, there's inclusive support, there's the medical centre, there's the Oasis Faith and Spirituality Centre, there's sport and fitness, you've got a sports pass, and there's the student union as well. Okay, and of course careers. Always got to have a plug. For anyone who may be on the autistic spectrum, or may have a friend or a peer, there's Molehill Mountain, which is an app, and it's specifically for students who have an autism spectrum condition. However, there's tons and tons of apps online that are around better time management, to better memory skills, to help you sleep, meditate, and other positive apps as well that you can get on board with as well. If you've got any that you want to share with us, it'd be great to hear about them too. Okay, so don't forget to do things that make you happy. So I'm just going to round up. So surround yourself with those positive people. Do socialise, whether that's board games, online, or with a bunch of friends, film and TV, reading, words, songs, any affirmations. I love a good quote. TED Talks, healthy eating, that routine, sports. Reflect on those strengths rather than just the negative aspects. We all have good and bad days. Just try and focus on trying to make the day better. Seek help when you need it. Try a bit of exercise. Doesn't have to be hardcore. You don't want to do hardcore exercise and you're not a sports person. Bit of a walking will increase those serotonin levels. attending university. And if you do have a few days where you don't attend and you're worried about coming back in, it's better to get in touch with the wellbeing team, with the tutor, and say, I'm feeling a little bit low, I'm really sorry, I feel like I might be missing work. They'd rather you get in touch with them than just slip off the face of the earth. It's important that you do attend, because I'm sure you want that help as well if you get that far stuck in a place of negativity. Call and text friends, and sleep. Sleep is very, very important to us all. We all feel that if we're knackered, that we feel like a zombie the next day. So we do need our sleep. So less sleep means that you are more agitated. You might be, more snacky and eat less healthily, and then you feel a bit more tired, less energy, and then the cycle can begin. So sleep's incredibly important. And I guess fundamentally, you are not alone. UCLan student support are here for you. Please don't think that you are on your own. If you ever feel like you are going into a negative cycle, just ask for help. Just take us an email, a phone call, or make an appointment, have a chat. Our careers, I know for the one-to-ones that I often have, if it's online or in person, it's confidential service. We don't break confidentiality without your permission. So if you do want to seek some help, it just takes one person to talk to. So just rounding up there, our careers, when we are all back on campus, we are in Foster Building, the main entrance, but you can access us online for the time being. We are here to help you. If you have any questions, I'll hang around for the next few minutes. Please get back in touch, and thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Okay, thank you.